The galaxy was very loud. Ships moved every second. Signals crossed star systems like endless rain. Alien voices filled space with orders, warnings, and pride. Wars were announced openly. Power was shown loudly. But one place was silent. Earth. For almost 8 months, no signal came from the human homeworld. No distress call. No trade message. No military broadcast. Nothing. To the galaxy, that silence felt like a clear answer. Humanity was finished. In the Grand Galactic Council, representatives from hundreds of species gathered around a floating star map. The blue light of Earth blinked slowly in the center. An insect-like commander spoke first. Human space has gone dark, it said calmly. Their fleets are destroyed. Their colonies have fallen. This silence confirms extinction. Several beings nodded. Some even looked bored. Humans had never impressed them. Humans were emotional. Humans argued with each other. Humans fought small wars and lost many of them. In the past, when stronger empires attacked, humans screamed, begged, and resisted loudly, until they broke. So when the humans went silent, the galaxy believed it was fear. The council made it official. Mark the human species as inactive, the chair entity announced. Their systems are open for claim. The decision was quick. Easy. No one protested. Far away, on the edge of known space, alien mining fleets began moving toward old human territories. Scouts entered empty stations. Cities floated dark and abandoned. Everything supported the same story. Silence meant defeat. But what the galaxy did not understand was one simple truth. Humans do not go silent when they give up. Humans go silent when they are thinking. Deep beneath Earth's surface, far below broken cities and ruined skies, humans were not dead. They were working. No lights showed from orbit. No energy spikes reached space. Earth looked like a grave. That was on purpose. Human leaders stood in a cold underground command hall. The walls were steel. The air was quiet. No speeches. No shouting. Just focus. Admiral Kane watched a large screen filled with unreadable symbols. Around him stood engineers, soldiers, and pilots. All of them calm. All of them tired. Status? Kane asked. A technician answered softly. Phase 1 is complete. No external signals detected. The galaxy still believes we are gone. Kane nodded once. That was good. Human history had taught them a painful lesson: when the enemy watches you, you die faster. When the enemy forgets you, you survive. Above Earth, deep in dark space, something ancient waited. It had been built long before the galaxy knew humans existed. It was hidden beyond charts, beyond trade lanes, beyond curiosity. A fleet designed not for conquest, but for the end of days. The humans called it the Legacy Fleet. It had no bright lights. No loud engines. No proud flags. Every ship was dark, silent, and patient. They slept for centuries, waiting for one command. That command had finally come. Back in the Galactic Council, celebrations had already started. Powerful species divided human space on holographic maps. Some laughed about how quickly humans vanished. Others planned new colonies. One young diplomat asked a simple question. Should we monitor Earth a little longer? The room reacted with amusement. Why? A reptilian warlord replied. Dead species don't surprise us. Laughter echoed through the chamber. They did not see the tiny shift in space far beyond their sensors. They did not hear the systems waking up. They did not notice that the silence had changed. Because there are two kinds of silence. One is empty. The other is full of intention. And humanity's silence was almost over. The galaxy believed it knew humans. That belief was the first mistake. For generations, galactic records described humanity as a minor species. Not weak enough to ignore, but never strong enough to fear. Humans were listed as noisy fighters, short planners, and highly emotional thinkers. In simple words, the galaxy thought humans were predictable. When humans first reached space, they were excited. They talked too much. They shared stories, music, and dreams with anyone who listened. They argued inside councils. They protested wars. They questioned authority. Other species watched and judged. Too divided, said the war empires. Too soft, said the conquerors. Too emotional, said the machine minds. And when the first galactic war reached human borders, those judgments seemed correct. Human fleets fought bravely, but loudly. They sent warnings. They begged allies for help. They lost ships trying to save civilians. They refused to abandon planets even when logic said retreat. To the galaxy, that looked like weakness. What the galaxy never studied was human history before the stars. Humans came from a world that tried to kill them every day. Storms, earthquakes, disease, and endless wars shaped them. Humans learned pain early. They learned loss early. And most importantly, they learned how to adapt when everything failed. When humans lost battles, they didn't forget them. They studied them. During the early galactic wars, humans recorded every defeat. Every failed strategy. Every betrayal. Every species that attacked them when they were vulnerable. But they did not announce revenge. They went quiet. Human governments argued less. Military broadcasts slowed. Fleets stopped responding to provocations. To the galaxy, it looked like humans were shrinking. In reality, they were changing. Instead of building bigger ships, humans built smarter systems. Instead of loud weapons, they designed silent ones. Instead of fast victories, they planned for long survival. A human general once said, "When you are weaker, you learn patience. When you are patient, you learn power." The galaxy never heard that quote. Inside the Galactic Council, human representatives slowly disappeared. Some were killed. Others returned home. Their empty seats became symbols of human decline. Other species celebrated. "Humans burn fast," said one council member. "Bright, but brief." That idea spread across star systems. Soon, even small alien powers felt brave enough to attack human colonies. Pirate fleets raided human trade routes. Border worlds fell one by one. Each loss made the galaxy more confident. And still, no human counterattack came. No threats. No warnings. No final speech. Just silence. What the galaxy misunderstood was simple. Humans were not silent because they were afraid. They were silent because they were watching everything. Every attack was recorded. Every tactic was analyzed. Every enemy weakness was stored. In underground facilities on Earth and hidden colonies, human scientists worked without sleep. Engineers tested systems that bent known physics. Commanders ran simulations that lasted years. Humans stopped asking, "How do we win the next battle?" They started asking, "How do we end all future wars?" The answer was not diplomacy. The answer was not numbers. The answer was presence. A force so controlled, so precise, that it would not need speeches or threats. A force that would make the galaxy pause before acting. But to build that, humans needed time. Silence gave them time. While the galaxy mocked their disappearance, humans removed emotion from their strategy. They didn't hate. They didn't rush. They didn't scream. They prepared. And when the galaxy finally noticed that human silence was not fear, but focus, it would already be too late. Because patience was the one human weapon the galaxy never saw coming. And patience, once finished, does not ask for permission. Deep beyond the edges of mapped space, where stars were few and sensors weak, something old began to move. For centuries, that region had been ignored. No trade routes passed through it. No empires claimed it. To the galaxy, it was empty darkness, useless and silent. But it was not empty. Hidden inside that dark stretch of space was a structure larger than some moons. It had no lights. No active shields. No energy signs. To any scanner, it looked like dead rock. That was the point. Inside, systems that had slept for generations received a single signal. The signal was simple. It carried no words. No emotions. It carried authorization. Across the massive structure, ancient human technology began to wake. Power flowed slowly at first. Not in bursts, but in careful waves. Systems checked themselves. Weapons stayed locked. Engines remained silent. The fleet followed one rule above all others. Do not be seen until the moment is right. One by one, the ships came alive. They were not beautiful. They were not elegant. They were built with harsh angles and dark hulls that swallowed light. Every design choice served a purpose. These ships were not made to impress. They were made to endure. The fleet had a name known only to a few human commanders. The Legacy Fleet. Each ship carried centuries of planning. They were built in secret, beyond politics and changing governments. Humans understood something rare: leaders change, but survival rules do not. That was why the fleet answered only to one command structure, activated only when humanity faced extinction. That moment had arrived. Inside one of the largest vessels, an artificial intelligence finished its final system check. Its voice echoed quietly through empty halls. All units responsive, it reported. Fleet status, ready. No celebration followed. No cheers. Human strategy never included emotion at this stage. Across the galaxy, alien sensor arrays continued their scans. They tracked known fleets, trade traffic, and background radiation. Nothing unusual appeared. That made them comfortable. Then, at the outer edges of a distant star system, a research station detected something strange. A signal appeared, then vanished. The station's commander frowned. False reading, he said. Background noise. Minutes later, another station detected the same thing. A shadow. Not energy. Not mass. Just absence. As if space itself had been pushed aside. Reports moved upward through command chains. Each time, they were ignored. No human activity has been confirmed, one high officer replied. Do not waste resources chasing ghosts. Meanwhile, the Legacy Fleet began to move. It did not jump all at once. That would have been noticed. Instead, the ship spread out, following complex paths that bent around gravity wells and dead stars. They used the galaxy's own noise to hide. Every movement was slow. Patient. This was not an invasion. It was positioning. As the fleet advanced, human observers watched from hidden relay points. Every enemy system. Every defense grid. Every political border was mapped again. Humans did not trust old data. They trusted reality. In the Galactic Council, news of expanding human silence continued to reassure leaders. Human systems remain inactive, announced a monitoring AI. No fleet movement detected. The council relaxed. Several members began arguing over who would control Earth once cleanup operations began. Some wanted its resources. Others wanted its history erased. No one noticed that human space was no longer empty. It was occupied. The Legacy Fleet reached its first silent formation point near a neutral system. Hundreds of ships floated in perfect alignment, dark and motionless. From a distance, they did not exist. Human command finally spoke, not to the galaxy, but to the fleet. "Hold," the order said. The fleet held. Because humans understood something the galaxy did not. Power does not need to announce itself. It only needs to arrive. And when the galaxy finally realized that humanity was no longer silent, it would not hear words first. It would see shadows. The first human attack did not look like an attack. There was no explosion. No warning siren. No battle message sent across space. In the outer Helion border system, an alien patrol fleet moved through its usual route. The system was quiet. Too quiet. But border duty was always boring, and the patrol commander was already thinking about rotation leave. Then one ship disappeared. Not destroyed. Not damaged. Gone. Its signal cut instantly. No debris followed. No energy spike showed on sensors. 1 second the ship was there, the next second it was empty space. The patrol slowed. "Scan the area," the commander ordered. Sensors found nothing. No enemy. No weapons fire. No trace of movement. Before anyone could speak again, a second ship vanished. This time, panic spread. Shields were raised. Weapons powered up. Distress calls were sent. None of them left the system. The patrol commander's voice shook. "Identify yourselves." No answer came. From a distance too far for detection, a human vessel observed silently. It did not lock weapons. It did not broadcast threats. The ship followed strict instructions. Aggressors are removed. Collateral is unacceptable. The remaining patrol ships tried to flee. They never reached jump speed. One by one, their engines shut down. Control systems failed. Life support entered emergency mode. The ships were frozen in space, alive, but powerless. Then something even worse happened. A dark shape appeared. Not suddenly. Not violently. It simply became visible. The human ship drifted forward, its surface absorbing starlight. No insignia marked its hull. No signal identified it. To the alien crew, it looked like space itself had formed a weapon. A calm human voice finally spoke. "This system is under observation," it said. "Withdraw." The alien commander tried to respond, but fear broke his words. The human ship did not wait. In a controlled motion, it turned away. As it vanished back into darkness, the disabled patrol ships were released. Systems returned. Engines restarted. They were allowed to leave. That message spread faster than any broadcast. Across nearby systems, commanders began sharing reports. Human ships do not communicate. They do not chase. They do not destroy unless forced. Then another report arrived, more disturbing than the rest. In a contested mining system, an aggressive empire sent a full battle group to claim old human territory. Confident. Armed. Ready for war. They never fired a shot. Their flagship lost power first. Then their escorts followed. All ships drifted helplessly as human vessels surrounded them, silent, patient, unstoppable. The human fleet stayed just long enough to prove a point. Then they left. No prisoners taken. No speeches given. No territory claimed. The galaxy began to panic. Emergency councils were called. Sensor networks were recalibrated. Military doctrines were rewritten overnight. How many human ships are there? Leaders demanded. No one knew. Where did they come from? No answer. Why didn't they attack fully? That question scared them most. Because total war could be understood. Control could be predicted. But restraint? Restraint meant confidence. And confidence meant power. For the first time in centuries, the galaxy felt watched. Human ships appeared only where aggression happened. Neutral systems remained untouched. Civilian traffic passed safely. Only those who crossed lines felt human presence. It became clear that humanity had drawn invisible borders, and enforced them without permission. Still, humans said nothing to the Galactic Council. No demands. No threats. No negotiation. Just action. A senior council member finally spoke the thought everyone feared. "This is not a counterattack," he said. "This is enforcement." The room fell silent. They had mistaken human silence for weakness. Now they understood the truth. Humans had not returned to speak. They had returned to decide. And somewhere in deep space, the main body of the Legacy fleet continued moving. This was only the beginning. The galaxy had faced wars before. It had faced rebellions, invasions, and empires rising overnight. Every threat followed a pattern. Enemies made demands. Fleets gathered. Messages were exchanged. Fear was loud, but it was familiar. This time was different. Humanity did not follow any pattern the galaxy understood. Emergency alarms echoed through the Grand Galactic Council Hall. Representatives rushed into their seats. Some species arrived in full battle armor. Others came through holograms, their homeworlds already preparing defenses. The central star map glowed with warning symbols. Human activity markers. They appeared without notice. They vanished without trace. Each marker represented a system where aggression had been stopped without explanation. The council chair struggled to restore order. "Silence," it demanded. "We require information, not panic." But panic had already taken hold. A machine delegate spoke first. "Human vessels do not use known propulsion methods. Our predictive models are failing." A warlord species slammed a clawed fist onto the table. "They disabled an entire battle group without firing. That violates every rule of engagement." Another voice cut in, quieter but more afraid. "They could have destroyed us. They chose not to. That scared them more than violence ever could." Reports flooded in from across the galaxy. Human ships appeared only after attacks on neutral worlds. Human ships ignored borders drawn by old empires. Human ships vanished the moment aggression stopped. It was as if humanity had become a silent judge, appearing only when someone crossed an invisible line. "What do they want?" a diplomat demanded. No one answered. Then something worse happened. Human colonies, long thought dead, began to light up. Old stations powered on. Abandoned shipyards reopened. Communication relays once marked as debris activated again. Humanity was not returning slowly. It was everywhere. The council demanded a direct message. They broadcast on all frequencies, using every known language and signal pattern. "Humanity," the message said, "state your intentions." Hours passed. No reply. The silence returned, but now it felt heavy. In private channels, empires began to argue. "We should strike first," one suggested. "We should surrender," said another. "They are enforcing peace," a third argued. "Perhaps we should comply." But no one knew what compliance meant. That uncertainty spread like fire. Then, finally, a human transmission appeared. It was short. Clear. Unemotional. "We were listening. You just didn't hear us." The message repeated once, then stopped. No signature. No demands. Just truth. The galaxy froze. Humanity had seen everything. Every attack. Every betrayal. Every vote in the council. And still, they had waited. That meant the current situation was not emotional. It was deliberate. Sensor operators suddenly screamed warnings. A massive energy reading appeared near the galactic core. Something large was arriving. Very large. Even the strongest empires had never built a vessel of that size. As the object moved closer, its shape became clear. It was not a station. Not a moon. It was a ship. The flagship of the Legacy Fleet. Its presence bent space around it. Stars behind it faded. Communication static followed its movement like a shadow. Every military network went silent. No one fired. No one dared. Because this was not a ship arriving for war. This was a symbol. A message written in mass and gravity instead of words. The Galactic Council finally understood. Humanity was not asking to rejoin the galaxy. Humanity had already taken its place. And now, the galaxy had to decide how to live with it. The flagship slowed near the center of galactic space. And for the first time since the silence began, humanity prepared to speak again. The flagship stopped. It did not anchor to a station. It did not enter orbit. It simply waited. From every corner of the galaxy, sensors focused on it. Military commanders held their breath. Politicians stopped arguing. Even the loudest empires stayed silent. The ship was enormous. Bigger than legends. Bigger than fear. Its surface was dark, not damaged, controlled. Layers of armor moved slowly, adjusting to space itself. No weapons were pointed outward, yet everyone understood something clearly. If it wanted to fire, nothing could stop it. Inside the Galactic Council Hall, no one spoke. The chair entity finally activated a direct channel. Humanity, it said carefully, this council requests dialogue. For several seconds, nothing happened. Then the flagship responded. Not with music. Not with threats. Not with pride. Just a human voice. Calm. Steady. Human. We acknowledge the request, the voice said. This is not a negotiation. The word struck harder than any weapon. The voice continued. For centuries, you spoke about us. You judged us. You decided our worth while we listened. Images appeared across the council's displays. Human colonies burning. Civilian ships destroyed. Council votes approving attacks while humans begged for time. No emotion was added. No accusation spoken. Just records. We learned, the voice said. We adapted. We waited. The council tried to respond, but the human transmission did not pause. You believed our silence meant defeat, the voice went on. You were wrong. The flagship moved slightly forward. Space bent around it. We are not here to rule you, the voice said. We are not here to destroy you. That gave some council members hope. Then the final sentence came. We are here to ensure this never happens again. Across the galaxy, human ships adjusted their positions. Not aggressively. Precisely. Strategic points were covered. Trade routes protected. Border systems monitored. The message was clear. Humanity was not replacing the old powers. It was overseeing them. A council member finally found the courage to speak. What do you demand? The human voice answered instantly. Nothing. Confusion spread. No tribute, the voice continued. No territory. No loyalty. Then, firmly. Only one rule. The council listened. Do not mistake silence for weakness again. The transmission ended. No celebration followed. No attack began. But something had changed forever. Across the galaxy, military fleets powered down. Aggressive expansion stopped. Empires that once ruled through fear suddenly found themselves cautious. Because they now understood something simple and terrifying. Humanity did not need to threaten. Humanity did not need to shout. Humanity had mastered restraint. Historians would later write about that day. They would say the galaxy did not fall to humans. It did not bow. It did not burn. It grew quiet. Because for the first time, the galaxy understood who had been listening all along. And somewhere in deep space, the legacy fleet held its position, silent, watchful, and awake. They had expected silence. They received a legend.